Hi everyone, how's it going? And the big theme today is Bitcoin might drop this weekend due to FUD. Why? I'm gonna go through this whole entire quick AMA session. So before I get started, click on that subscribe button, smash up some likes, and do me one other small favor. The small favor I have for you guys to do is go onto YouTube, throw in some comments, and participate in this, okay? Because the more you participate, the better, and that's really what I want. So I want to see you guys being a part of this. I want everyone to have a chance to, ask their questions and anything along the lines of what coin do I want to watch? Is it a good time right now? So we're gonna look at today through this whole time, and it's gonna be more of a quick news time. So if you're here, don't go anywhere. The TA is going to come probably in the next 8 minutes. So we're going to keep it real close and concise. So just see who is here, and let's say hello to everyone. How's it going, Mr. Magic? It might drop because of these clickbaits. Come on, man. It's kind of mean. Intro looks nice. Thanks, Blake. Brian, nice to see you. Ross, nice to see you. Steve, nice to see you. Miguel, nice to see you. Chrissy, nice to see you. Great having you guys all on today. And if you guys could do me one small favor before I get started, go onto your favorite groups and share this, and also jump onto Facebook. Or sorry, not on Facebook, jump onto YouTube. Don't forget those comments, guys. I want to know what you think is going to happen this weekend. And if you don't like the clickbait, sorry, I actually searched these things online to find the best ones. How's it going? Chris K, what's up, man? How you doing? And who else is here? Oh, Leroy, my boy. How you doing, man? It's been a while. I haven't seen you around. So jump right in. Let's get to it. Chris, great to see you there, bud. Okay. I'm just going to go over what's been going on and what is the big news from today. The big news today, obviously, is that the US regulators are probing the crypto exchange Bitmex over client trades. Now, this is kind of interesting because of two really big facts and why I'm thinking it's very fuddy. It's very fuddy for two things. Number one, where is Bitmex located? Bitmex is located not inside the United States. Number two, does Bitmex allow US customers on their platform? No, they don't. Now, yes, there is no KYC on their platform, so maybe that's the one little area that might have an issue. But overall, does Bitmex have an issue? Probably not. And I don't really know why they would, but they're looking into the trades. And I think this is, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in crypto. There's a lot of crazy liquidations. If you have any of those liquidation bots, the last 2 weeks have been crazy. Multi-millions. We're talking like $100 to $200 million of liquidations in the last week, not even that, last couple days even. Especially yesterday, that was crazy. When you think BTC is going up, it goes, when it goes down, it jumps up. That sometimes happens, and it's part of the game. This is why you need to learn technical analysis. But we're just look at what's going on with the CTFC probe. Now, a lot of people say Nouriel Rubini, who has blocked me on Twitter because I called him out for a couple things. I guess he's the next Craig Stephen, right? But it is what it is. Now, he kind of blocked me, and then I've been trying to keep it up, but it is what it is. Up today, load up the shorts, down over the weekend. Very possible, Chris. I'm just gonna go over why I think one might happen and one might not. I'm gonna give you both sides of the story, be very objective here. So we see that there is obviously this whole thing going on. Now you guys can read the article yourselves. I know this bores you, so we're not gonna keep going on with that. The other thing that was really interesting news that came out, and this is old news. I think that in 2018 this came about, but this actually happened again and was kind of reconfirmed. So in China, they just said that like basically Bitcoin is a legal commodity, so you can own Bitcoin and it is something that has value. So they actually said, and Dovi1 said, wow, Bitcoin is legally protected in China, meaning if someone steals it from you, you can actually go after them. And this is because, you know, it should be protected. So there's a big point that I just want to bring out. The assets should be protected in accordance with law. So that is something important. And also the cryptocurrency meets the virtual property requirements because it has value, it's scarce, and it is disposable. So that's something really interesting. Travis, nice to see you over there on YouTube, as well as you over on YouTube, Miguel. There is still the gap to fill 8,500, and I've talked about that a couple times. I'm going to go over that one quick minute in a second, and that's going on. So, hey Joel, thinking about the time traveler's prediction. This is interesting stuff. I think it's more of a let's see what happens more in the future, but so far really good. Calling the December bottom, saying we're going to come back to 9,200 this month. We'll have to just kind of wait and see. Now, if you guys aren't watching on YouTube, please do join us. I'm going to throw the link down there so you can, and do subscribe and like that video, just so we have all you guys on the same platform, and it makes it easier for me not to get ADHD. So going on, one more thing that's really cool. If you guys like to win free crypto, and want to participate in a company that I really like, I posted this yesterday in my group, Athena Education. Unification is having a quiz and AMA with the CEO, Nima Jahan. And that'll happen tonight in about 6 hours from this time, or 5 hours from this time, sorry. So in 5 hours, you can guys go on there. You can go on t.me Unification Foundation, get in there, ask all the questions you want. And if you know stuff about the company and you know stuff about what they're doing, you could win 2,000 UND for a correct answer. They have 5 correct answers. So good amount of actual profit to be made at UND sitting at 6 cents. So there's $600 up for grabs. Go join if you guys want to. And now let's get into the stuff that you guys all are here for. The technical analysis, right? The lizard people. Oh, this whole Area 51 thing is kind of funny, but I won't get into politics because I know most of people don't like that. And so I think it's just kind of funny what's been going on with that, a whole spiel, right? All right, so now let's jump into what's going on in the charts. So it's really interesting that we lost, and I just want to like point this out again in a very short time how much we lost. We lost $145 billion in 20 days. And our market cap's only 269 right now. So literally lost a third in a very short amount of time. But we hit this kind of bottom, and there's something I want to show you on Bitcoin that I noticed, I pointed out, I highlighted, I put in groups. And even myself, I didn't follow it. So I don't know why. I just wanted to see that 8,700, so I was waiting. But then this happened, and I'm going to show you something called a tweezer bottom. And you can also have a tweezer top. But I'm going to show you a tweezer bottom. This is a tweezer top right here. They actually give you kind of an indication where the market will go. And it doesn't matter if you're looking at Bitcoin or any other currencies. So here's the gap everyone was just talking about right there. We have this gap to fill. It's still about from here to here. So we're looking at that gap to fill it, right? And if we go on the weekly, let's just go on the weekly. Oh, sorry, not the weekly, the daily. Sorry, we're on Bitcoin futures here. If we go on the daily, we can see that the Kijun has been bouncing. We have this area to fill on an actual BTC chart. I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. So we have that area to fill, right? And if we go on the weekly chart, we'll look at the Kijun, right? Here it is right there, which is sitting at 8,500, right? So let me go back to here. Where is this? Oh, it's the Kijun's there, perfect. 8,600, 8,500. So if we did drop down to this level, we would fill the gap. So that's pretty interesting, right? That's pretty cool. So we filled all the other gaps that we had. This one has not been filled. But let me show you something else that someone pointed out to me really recently, which I also thought was really cool. Now we don't have this here, but there was actual gaps. Let me just go on the daily. I believe it's on the daily. There was actually gaps in 2017, but you can't see them, unfortunately. If you go onto a non-futures exchange, not CTFC, but in the end of our bull run, we had a couple gaps that never filled too. Something also to look at, right? So moving on, let's look at where is Bitcoin dominance. This is a really important factor to watch. Now, I drew this back in March, April. I was like, man, Bitcoin is really like losing a lot of its dominance. It had a downward, obviously we had this wedge down here. And when we broke out of that wedge, two things happened. Number one, we broke through the Kijinsen. Number two, we broke out that wedge and we started a little bit of a bull run, right? And we've never really kind of stopped. We're just had wave 1, 2, 3, and maybe we'll continue. But this is on Bitcoin dominance. Now, another thing to keep in mind here, if you look at the fractal level, it's pretty much in line with the very highest point other than before we had ICOs, right? ICOs came, Bitcoin hit its top, ICOs, right? And then we kind of did this whole shebang. Where will Bitcoin dominance go? Interesting. Very interesting. Now, I want to show you something I saw on the 4 hour. And as you can see, it's highlighted there for you. I saw it on the 1 hour first, but then I saw it on the 4 hour. So if we go on the 1 hour, I just want to show you what to look for. When you're trying to find out reversal patterns, strong ones, ones that can give you a really good indication where the market might go, this is really important. You look for things called tweezer bottoms. So here is a tweezer bottom. They're usually, if it's going bullish, we go a bearish, engulfing, or a bearish candle followed by a bullish candle with two wicks that basically almost touch the same level. It could be a little bit off, but basically touch the same level. And then usually we have that next candle we would put, okay, so if we have this as being the top, we would put our buy order right about there at the top of this, right? So we put a buy order, we'd set a stop loss at the bottom of the tweezers right here. So that would be your stop loss, and this would be your entry point right here. Now, obviously, you'd get in, and if you held, you might not have got stopped out, right? You want to get scared, but then look at this beautiful movement you would have caught. Now, let's look on a 4 hour chart to show you something even more interesting. So if we go on the 4 hour chart, we see the tweezer bottom even better. It's perfect tweezer bottoms. Look at that. We have this beautiful tweezer bottom. You would have entered right at the top of this candle. So you would have waited until we closed above that candle, which would have been probably this one. You would have entered on this candle, and you would have put your stop loss probably at the fractal level down here, right? And you would have waited, and you would have literally caught this whole entire movement. Now, you might have stopped out if you didn't have if you weren't loose, but the whole idea is tweezer bottoms tell you the direction of the market. Interesting stuff. All right, let me see something. I'll be backed. All right, cool. Kijin, is it just me or does the feed look a little blurry? What you need to do is adjust your quality settings and go to 720p. And if once you do that, it will definitely fix that. So just do that in a second and it should work. I am streaming at 1080p, so it should be perfect. And I just bought a 4K camera, so next week you guys see me even closer. Questions. Looks fine on your phone. Sometimes YouTube compression. Yeah, that's possible as well. So phones sometimes have the bit rate. So BC. What's BC? Shyam Sundar. Sorry, I'm not if I'm saying your name wrong. BC, what do you mean? Oh, guys, do throw in right now, anytime right now, throw in coins that you would like me to have a look at. I'm also going to look at Ethereum and BNB to see where they're going. So those tweezer bottoms, keep that as a note, right? Because I'm going to show you that tweezer tops also happen, right? So you would have had a nice, beautiful tweezer top right here. Look at that tweezer top. We dropped. Obviously, you would have closed here. You would have entered with a stop loss at the top of this. And basically, you would have held it probably until we had a nice reversal point. You would have trailed that until the trailing stopped working for you, right? All right, so we want Pundi and we want Zcash fork. The Zcash fork is interesting because, you know, Zcash, I believe, was also a fork. And I don't really know if that's going to really be a big deal or not, really. I think that this Bitmex FUD is definitely going to, over the weekend, challenge some people. And if the bulls are really strong, they're going to come back really strong. And they're going to push this market over. Where my point is, what you should be looking at, guys, I'll give you a really good piece of information. We need to cross at least on the daily, for me, to get into a trade right now, or get into the market, I want to see us cross right here. I want to see us cross that. Right, here's another example of a tweezer. I want to see us cross 10,950 before I would get in. If it does 10,950, 11,000, we close above this red line, I am going turbo long. I will put in a long for sure. So that's something to keep your mind on and look for. But also remember, if we go above this, that 4-hour Kijin, as well as our span, we have a lot of, these are all technically 1, 2, 3, and 4, all resistance. So we have 4 resistance zones here that we'd have to break through. Does that mean we can't do it? No. It just means there's a lot of resistance there that we'd have to go through to keep pushing up. But if we do, absolutely, it's going to be beautiful. I don't know if, is tube on here? Can I do tube on here? Tube BTC. Oh, they are. There we go. Oh, BitTube did a beautiful move. I wouldn't get into this now, to completely honest. If I'm saying your name, Lirpa, here's what I'm seeing, okay? You had a couple beautiful indicators. The first one being, where's my, hold on a second. I don't have my Ichimoku converging and span. There we go. Okay. So a couple things you'd be looking for. We had a bullish TK cross right here. I wouldn't have got in. It wasn't really bullish engulfing candle, but I very likely would have got in on this candle right here. We have a beautiful a Chiku span above, and it bounced off right here off of the Kijin. So that'll be a nice candle to get in. Of course, you would have come down, but you would have put your stop loss a little bit below the Kijin. So you'd have been in that. It would have looked like it's a little bit horrible, but you would have done a nice edge to edge trade. And had you got in here, as much as it doesn't seem like a lot, it would have been a nice 15% that I would have gone in for that trade. So tube looks okay. It actually doesn't look like one of the other coins we're looking at most of the time. It's actually a little bit of an uptrend right now, so keep your eye on it. And it's also got we also have a Kumo twist, so it's got a bright future, happy times in the future, so that's also really nice. Couple questions. BTG, Litecoin halving. Here's something interesting, guys. Litecoin halving. I showed this last time. I'm just going to show this really quick this time, just to remind you what is happening with the halving here. Here's the Litecoin halving right there. Now, we have to get through this cloud. We broke below right now, if we close this candle, we're closing below the Kijin again. So it seems like it's still bearish. If we break above it and go through this cloud, I would be more on the bullish side. Litecoin right now is not one I'd be looking at seriously. Okay. Hello, what's up, John? Nice to see you. Bitcoin Gold. Okay, so Bitcoin Gold is one of those coins that just forked Bitcoin. If you don't know what a fork is, it basically just like copied Bitcoin to do some stuff differently. All right, so it's been on a little bit of an uptrend. And you know, all the Bitcoin coins generally follow Bitcoin if it starts to move up. So also really good to keep note of. But we see that it's gone through the cloud. It's come back and tested the bottom of the cloud. And we're seeing it's still a little bit bearish, but usually when we have it test the top of the cloud, if it does an edge to edge, it will come down and test it, and then it will continue on up. So it's something to keep your eye on, Bitcoin Gold. I don't like where the Chiku span is right now. It's not really in a great spot, but it doesn't look too horrible either. Let me just change the lagging span to yellow so you guys can see it a little bit clearer, because sometimes it's hard to notice. So you see how it's kind of it's kind of undecided. I wouldn't go into a trade on that right now. I would wait. But we'll have to just check and see. Can Bitcoin come to 8,500? Yes, absolutely. We have a gap there, and it's something that I would really highly think that's going to happen for sure. Please do you teach trading if I want you to help me? Yes, I do teach trading. I'm in the middle of creating a course. It's extensive. Trust me, there's a lot to learn, but I'm breaking it down to pieces so that, you know, little bites of a piece of a pie will be easier than taking the whole thing. So that will be something that's coming out. But yes, while you're here, you're going to learn stuff that I'm going to teach in the course. So try to digest some of the information. The most important part, this red line called the Kijinsen, that is an equilibrium line. And if you look at any market, and here's something I'm going to show you guys, because I think that even though I do crypto, it's really important to look at other stuff. If we go to Amazon, all right, so let's look at Amazon. People are always like, why Amazon? Let's look at something here. This red line is the Kijinsen. I will take off all the other different types of lines that I have on here just to give you a really good example about what it does. The Kijun-sen is a mark of equilibrium. Equilibrium means that when the market has the same amount of buyers and sellers. So when we have the same amount of buyers and sellers in the market, it will try to pull one way or the other if it's too high or too low. Give you a good example. You see down here and here where it was really far away from the red line called the Kijun-sen. What happened? It pulled it back. It came down here and pulled it back and touched it. It came down here and pulled it and went above it. Then it went and pulled it back because it was too high up. It goes up and down and goes into that Kijun-sen. So if you understand what you're looking at, you would have saw something like in this area for Amazon and meant, well, it's getting really far away. And as you saw that line getting closer, you might have closed your trade in this area right here, but you would have also made a beautiful trade right there all the way up 12%. And I mean, in crypto, that's a day, but in stocks, that's a lot longer. Now, if we look at Forex, we can do the same thing. So if we look at JPY USD, same thing happens, guys. So JPY gets too far away from the Kijun-sen, it pulls it back in. It goes too far below and touches the bottom of the cloud, it pulls it back up. It pulls it back down. It pulls up, it pulls down, it pulls up. So it always comes back to that equilibrium space. So that's what's up. Smile, I'm on camera. So that's what we're looking for, right? Alfred used Facebook Messenger. How can you contact me? If you want, guys, the best way to contact me would either be on Twitter, and it's Coach K Crypto. So it's Coach K Crypto on Telegram or Twitter would work. It's just the same one, so it's easy to remember. So that would be where to go. All right, let's see. Link correlation to Bitcoin. A lot of people hurt yesterday with the pump. Now, I really love Link. I think that they've been doing more than any of the other projects collectively because of all the stuff that they've been doing. I don't see this as a very correlated pump. It is a pump, but it was nowhere near. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm on the 4 hours, so it actually was something similar. But again, even looking at Link, gets too far away, pulls it back up. Gets too far away, pulls it back. Oh, and it goes below it. And then it pulls it back up, and it goes below again, and it pulls it back up. So Kijun-sen is something really important, but use these on a higher time frame. We'll show you why. If you're trading, guys, and you're using a 15-minute chart, now it will definitely give you the same indications, but you'll get under and over a lot more often, and you can make a lot more mistakes. Now on Link, it's just so strong, it's so hard to show you that. But if we look at something a little bit weaker like Ethereum lately, look how many times you'd be in and out of trades. It's just kind of a little bit all over the place. And that was a nice dump, wasn't it? So it whipsaws you a little bit more. You can trade on shorter time frames. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's just a little bit higher risk. So let's look at Ethereum right now. And then I'm going to go into any of the other ones that you guys throw in there. I think someone put on NXS. So we'll look at that as well. All right, so here we see Ethereum has and it's really funny. The other day I was on my a call with my friend Chris, and he was like, should I sell it? And I was like, I don't know, man, it's hard to tell you. The market just dumps so hard. I don't usually sell when it dumps. And he's like, I think I should sell. And I was like, yeah, maybe you should. And I kind of wish I didn't tell him that, to be honest. It was like I think we were looking on the daily, I believe. We were looking on the daily, and it was just oh, sorry, hold on a second. It was just around here, and he was like, should I sell it? And I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, here's what I'm looking for. Actually, it was from here. I was going really short term. And I told him, I said, I'm looking at, I believe the price was right around here, 200. It turned into a tweezer bottom, which is indicative of a good movement. And I said, I don't know, but I think it could go up to 218. And then it started to drop down to 200 again. And he was like, I'm just going to sell it. We sold at 207 or something. And then we ended up getting up to that 218. Actually went all the way to the 786, which was at 2250. And here, 225, sorry. And then we are developing right now a tweezer top. So I think we definitely could go down on Ethereum. We're already going down, but we'll have to see, because it's the daily chart and it doesn't close for quite some time. If we look on the 6 hour, we get another indication of where we might be going. So we had a nice pump, but see, these pumps haven't really done much. They're not really going up that high or that low. We really had our big pumps already with ETH. And I think that until we have an alt season, we're not going to really get there. Really interesting. Okay. So one other one I want to look at, because I don't see you guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not throwing in a coin that you like, let me know. All right, I'm gonna do NXS. Was it NXS or was it Pundy? Let me just check again, 1 second. NXS. All right, NXS. BTC. Huh? Oh, sorry. I cannot spell. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Oi. See, here's the thing you're going to look at if you're watching NXS right here. There's a 6 hour. Here's our 4 hour. Let's look at our daily. Look at that cloud. There's so much resistance right here. And look how far away it is from the Kijun. It hasn't even tried to pull back, which is really interesting. We're talking about quite a few days. Like the last time it was there, that was 100 days ago. So are we going to see it come up again? Probably at some point, or it's going to turn into a dead project. But what I'm also seeing is it flattening out a little bit. So it might have a chance to come and try to get back a little bit. But NXS just looks really bearish here. I wouldn't be taking that trade. But here, remember I told you whipsaws? On the hourly, it's like all over the place. So I would stick with that 4 hour candles. It's touched it a couple times and pushed down. We'll see. If this breaks above and we have a Kijun break and a Kumo break, we could see it get to the top of the cloud here. But overall, it's quite bearish. And, you know, when we get here, that would be where I'd be looking for. But I would wait for this candlesticks would have to break above the Kijun. Okay, I want to see a Kijun break. Now, let me just load up my other indicators here to give you more of an analysis. Yeah, same thing. We're at the Kijun. Actually, that's good. They're flat on top of each other. So if it does break out through that, we could probably see it break into the cloud and maybe to the top. So that would be where I'd be looking at if I was you guys. XLM. This is another one in Neo. Okay. XLM is really interesting. I'm going to give you guys some analysis that's fundamental as well here. XLM has a ton of tokens that you're going to get for free if you stake, but their staking rewards are total about 1% a year. That's not even inflation right now. Another aspect to keep in mind that I've been pointing out for about, I don't know, since they had these airdrops they did, was if you're doing airdrops, think about this. You're doing airdrops, you drop $125 million to people. People are going to take that money and they're going to turn it into fiat and they're going to spend it because they want money. Some people might hold it, but I would say at 50% of them would spend. That's why XLM I'm not super bullish on right now. And the reason is simple. If XLM is going to move up, it's going to be short-lived in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but, and maybe people did dump it already, but I'm not really convinced yet either. Let's look at this. So we did have a really nice edge to edge right there. We had a bullish, did we have a cross? Yeah, we had a bullish TK cross right here. Let me just show you. We had a bullish TK cross right on this candle. Maybe it was the next. I would have probably got in here because I would have seen that really nice hook up. Maybe not. It's hard to tell in hindsight because I can't see that far back, but I probably would have gotten at the top of this candle or somewhere on this candle here. But as we can see, it's more of a pump and dump. It's very obvious. Pump and dump. So we had this nice TK cross actually on the hourly was down here. I wouldn't have got in. I would have waited maybe until this point, but it still wouldn't have been a normal trade for me, completely honest. And XLM's been really bearish, and so it kind of scared me away. At the same time, if you got in, you do an edge to edge and make 15%, and then look at what it did. It just dumped from the top to the bottom, all the way to the bottom of the cloud. Does that mean we're done? No, it might touch the bottom of the cloud and start to move up to the top of the cloud again, but XLM is not something that I'm like really all about that. Any trader here? Yes, we're the trader. Goku, what do you need? Here to help. Hey, what's up, Jurgen? How you doing, brother? It's been nice to see you. Okay, so 88, yes, 88. So what happened with Charles Hoskinson? That was kind of interesting. It kind of makes me kind of weary. Sorry, this is a really big bottom that I was showing people in the past. We really didn't. This was something when you go back and do analysis again and you look at it and you go, wow, you were wrong. You were wrong for the wrong reason. Right now, we're at this point where if 88 goes lower than it is at this point against BTC, it's actually never been this low. Yikes. Yikes is right, if you're thinking it. We're still on a downtrend, on a serious downtrend, and there seems like there's no life for changing that at any point. Don't even touch 88, not right now. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't myself. Something that it's touched the Kijun and it's acting as resistance every time it's gone there. I would wait for a clear reversal on this. We're definitely not into alt season yet, and when we do, it might recover. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh my, can you see OMG? Oh, let me check OMG. OMG BTC. They have that Go exchange, right? Ooh, OMG is also looking pretty bearish. Again, another one where even on the 4 hour, like if we look at this on the daily, it's just, look at that. Oh, that looks horrible. I mean, I hopefully, like, I'm not saying this to make people feel bad. I'm just saying, like, ouch. Like, it's disgustingly bad right now for OMG. I used to hold it. I dumped mine because it was just performing so badly. And even though they use it in Thailand, like, maybe they don't need a blockchain for it. You know, maybe they don't need a token for their blockchain. These are things you have to think about. But at a very bottom, it might be the best time to buy it right now. It also is probably the worst. Just a piece of information for you guys. I would look at this as maybe it's going to try to recover. But again, I would wait for this to break the Kijun because it's not done it forever. It hasn't really clearly broke it. You would wait for a bullish engulfing to break through that Kijun. Then you have the cloud. So you'd want to see it go into the cloud with that same exact Kijun, same exact bullish engulfing through the Kijun. And then you'd have a little bit of faith. I don't have faith in OMG right now, especially against USD, or especially against BTC. Brian, nice to see you. Okay, a couple questions. You know the chart says different. Buy when it's low. Yeah, Jürgen, you're right. And you know, if you have fundamentally like that project and you believe in their team and you know that they're going somewhere, absolutely buy it. Like, it's up to you. I'm not saying financial advice to buy something or not. I'm saying that right now, based off TA, I probably would avoid it. I would wait for a clear sign of reversal. I'd want to see it move up 8, 10, 12% first and have a clear indication that it's going in this direction, not going in that one, which is the complete opposite so far. But you know, it would have faked me out right here. But if I got faked out and got out on a trailing stop, that would have been okay, 20%. But it's been really bearish. Okay, what do we got here? We got basic attention token. That's a really great project. I think that the US will actually be one of the ones that let it stay. Now, when we look at this, we see the same thing I just said. It's been very bearish, and we're talking, that was not very long ago. We're talking in April when everything was kind of moving, Bitcoin was moving. It's down 70, well, at this point 74% was down to 77. What does that mean? Really not much. It had a massive run up in a short amount of time, and so that was something I kind of expected. And we're not really at this point where it's at the lowest it's ever been. It's still starting to maybe uptrend a little bit, and we saw that the last day. So let me just zoom in here a little bit closer to take a little bit better look. So we had a Tenkan break, which is this is the green line. The Tenkan break. We're still bearish on the Chiku span. So what I wait for right now, if I'm going to enter a trade for a longer term with this one, I'm going to wait to see that this Chiku span goes above the candles. So we're bearish on the Chiku span, and I would wait for this Kijun to break. And if it breaks the Kijun and it continues to go into the cloud, I would expect that to go all the way through the cloud and do an edge to edge on this trade. So I would expect it to do another 10%, and then we'll see where we go. Let's just do a quick fib on this one. Where could we go from here? All right, so the 50% retrace would be in the cloud at the top. Look at that, you guys! Isn't this awesome how TA works? You do a perfect fib and look exactly where the 50% retrace is, right at the top of that cloud where I'm talking about where it would go edge to edge. So that would be a nice place for it to retrace, and then we could get up to that 618, which they used. We really like to get up to that level, and we'll have to just see. But I would expect one thing to happen longer term. We would see it come to the top of the cloud. If it broke out, it would come back down and test it, and then it would go to the 786. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking for basic attention token. Let me just see. I missed a couple messages here. You met their chairperson next week. Oh, you will? That's awesome. Okay, Jürgen, I want to know what happens with their chairperson. I'm really interested. You're interested in VED announcing major? Yeah. Okay, so VeChain had just broke 1 billion transactions. They have a lot going for them. I looked at something as could potentially be a double bottom, and we are very bearish. And this doesn't mean much, to be completely honest. Sorry about that here. I'm a Canadian. I say sorry for everything. All right, let's just zoom in here. VeChain's been very bearish, and it's honestly surprising how bearish it's been. I thought here it would probably recover. This is where I circled it, said, hey, it's got this double bottom feeling to it, and it would probably go up, and we did. It was funny, like the Chiku spin, and we broke in the cloud. We did a nice move, and I was like, all right, we're back on the right track. And nope, Bitcoin started to pump. So this is more indicative of Bitcoin pumping than anything else. And you always have to do something, guys. Look at the US dollar value. Obviously, if you kept it in Bitcoin, it'd be better. But in US dollar value, it hasn't really dumped since June 26th. So when Bitcoin started to have its huge dump, that was on my birthday. It was like, happy birthday. And the next day was like, sorry, thanks for playing. Then we came all the way back. It looks like it's trying to have a short recovery, but looking on the daily, I'd still be waiting for that Chiku spin to go bullish. We have a bearish Kumo twist on the daily. So kind of just wait it out for that one. VeChain's gonna be okay, in my opinion. All right, what we got? They're using list overlays. Even though bearish and trading NXS is cringeworthy, they're using LS. Yeah, they are. And you can watch the project. I'm not saying not to buy ever. I'm just saying that there's some projects right now that are super bearish, and you should wait for a clear sign of reversal. When you're using something like the Ichimoku cloud, you're looking to get the meat of this trend. You're not looking to get the first small wave or the second down wave. You're looking to get like the big, long, strong waves, right? So you're looking for the clear indicating waves. Like, for example, this might have shown you like, oh, we're getting in, get here. No, I would have probably waited till it bounced off the bottom of the cloud and then gone, okay, I want this wave. I want the long wave. I don't want to wait, or even this one all the way up to here. You want to wait for the bigger moves in Ichimoku and then trail those big moves until you have. So if you get 60% of that 100% movement, you're usually going to get a ton of it. And that's fine because there's so many coins out there. HST token. Think you're going to hit disbelief phase soon? Maybe. I mean, I've seen the charts. They're very interesting. So HST token is interesting. I think it has some use case for sure. It's kind of floored right now, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I would say it's probably more a good thing that it's sitting on this support zone right here. I wouldn't see it go very much lower than that. It's kind of tried to a couple times. What you're waiting for now, look at the size of this cloud. Holy moly, that is massive. That's huge. So if we did an edge to edge on HST, you guys would have a 240% movement on the daily. That's pretty nice. On the 4 hour, it's been holding that nicely. I would wait to see on the 4 hour one thing if you're going to look to get in this bad boy. It's this. To break through, where is our Kijinsen? We just did actually. You had a bullish and we tested it, and the TK cross is just confirmed, I believe. This is probably a good time to maybe get in this trade. Now let's look at where our Chiku span is, and I'll tell you for sure if it is. Not yet. So we're trading our Chiku span in the cloud. Once that Chiku is above the candlesticks, right? When we see the Chiku span above, that would be a good time to enter. You'd have a small movement. Once we do that, get there, let's say it's up here, we would have a movement of 10% potential gains and more potentially if we look in a higher time frame. Maybe the 6 hour will give us even more indication. So we have a Tenkan breakout. So yeah, we're still looking for the Chiku span to get a little higher. But if we get through the Tenkan breakout, we could get to the lip of the cloud, push down. We could break through and go into test that Kijinsen. So still a good movement, 18%. So that might be a good one to look at and keep your eye on for sure. Question, CTK if I have time. Steven, no problem. I'll get that. I'll be here for about 8 more minutes, guys, so I'll do as many as I can. CTK is not actually on TradingView, so I'll have to try to look at that on another platform. You have to let me know where. Neo, sorry for making you wait there, buddy. Sorry for making you wait there, Ross. Oh, Neo's looking okay actually on the 6 hour. It's actually uptrending, which is nice. It looked like it bottomed when Bitcoin did, had a tweezer bottom here, nice bullish engulfing candle, and it's been kind of on a nice uptrend. But again, I like to see the Chiku span above the candlesticks. This might be a great trade when we cross through and break through our Kijinsen. That would probably put the Chiku span up, and if we break through the Kijinsen, we might see the Tenkan-sen do a TK cross. Would be a very strong indication to get into a trade. Let's just look on a very short time frame of 2 hours to see how that's moving. And here we do see on a 2 hour time frame, it's actually already crossed TK. We've had a bullish TK cross. We've tested the bottom of the cloud, and the Chiku span is bullish. So if you trade on a shorter time frame, this might be a good one for a short little 8-9% 7%, something along that range. So that's something also to look at. You missed ADA, yeah, Andrew, sorry, but if you after this video, just go back and you'll definitely get the chance to see that. Not sure if I covered XRP. Yes, XRP. So one thing I posted in my group today was that XRP is going to continue being bearish for quite some time. All right. Now, I know that's really scary to look at, but against US dollar, it's not doing too terribly. We did do a nice on the 2-hour and edge to edge. On the 4-hour, we're bullish on the Chiku span right here. We did cross above and have a TK cross. So we had a couple really good indications that we should be moving up. TK cross right here. So we went from, you know, when the Kijin sends below the Tenkan-sen, that's a good thing. That means we have a positive TK cross, pull a bullish TK cross. And we have to wait and see where this goes. Now, this might be testing the bottom of the cloud on the daily or the 6-hour. Oh, it's not really good. It's looking horrible on the daily. So let's go in a different time frame for that. Just because how long it's been bearish, it's really hard to give it analysis. So we have a little bit of a squeezing of these two. I'm not really sure if I'd get into this right now. I'm kind of waiting. And honestly, the thing with XRP is they have been, and notably they've been selling $600 million worth of their token. We could try to get to this level, but I'm not super bullish on XRP right now. Just giving you guys the real, complete, honest truth. I'm not bullish on XRP. When I will be bullish on XRP, come October, November, end of October, start of November, we're going to see XRP have some of that $600 million probably pumped back in with a lot of marketing and advertisement. Just keep that in mind. All right, and let me just get to one more and then we'll go. Let me see questions. I am waiting for Dent, NX, NP, and Pundy. Okay, so Pundy did some good stuff. NPXS Pundy. Thanks a lot. Who said that? Libra, thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. That sounds really ridiculous. Thanks a lot for that. I'm glad that you enjoy the show, and I'll be doing them every Monday and Friday, guys. So jump on YouTube so you don't miss them. Subscribe so you get the bell, you know, and you'll be able to know. But around this time, every single Monday and Friday. All right. Now, I did tell people a couple days ago, like Pundy would be a good buy at 5 Satoshis. And the reason is because they do have some stuff going on. Are they going to be the big failure? It's hard to say. It has a high upside for sure. But look around getting in at 5 sats. I don't think it'd be a bad buy at all. I think it'd be something that you could hold for quite some time. Technical analysis wise, it looks like crap, to be complete honest. But here again on the 4-hour, if we broke through the Kijinsen, we could see it move. And here's the thing. One thing I want you guys to notice, that even if we went from 6 sats to 7 sats, that's 16%. Here we go. We're at 5 sats right now. Look at this. You go from 5 sats to 6 sats, you made literally 20%. Remember that, okay? Because it's something that we all forget. It's like, oh, that's not that much. But you go up 40% if you move up from 5 sats to 7 sats. For Dent, similar things. Dent, I'm actually kind of surprised by for dumping so hard, because there's a lot of good stuff that they've been doing. But the same thing with Dent. If they break through this Kijinsen up here and they go and just touch the top of this, it's 3 sats. 3 sats is 43%. So I would not, you know, be super bearish on that. I would say that Dent and NPXS could be really close to their bottom, and just think about maybe if you want to actually purchase them, think about that would be a good opportunity at that rate. Okay. All right, so I did ONT the other day. I was looking at it potentially to make a buy. I was waiting for this Chiku span and some other things to kind of look and factor in. Didn't really factor in too nicely, so I didn't really get into that trade. And it would have been okay because I would have bought it at the top of here, but look at that. It would have been buying the top anyways. So I didn't get into that. ONT has a partnership with Neo, so I know why you guys are saying that. That partnership, I don't know really what that means. Honestly, partnerships have not really done much, but just little pumps like you see right here of 10-15%, and then they drop back down. So yeah, and it did touch basically the top of the Kijinsen and pulled back. So it's acting as resistance right now, as we can see if we pull back further, that every time we kind of get to that level, it pushes it and touches it and comes down, it comes back down, it comes back down, it comes back down. So we're seeing that a lot. I want to see it break through here, or I'm not getting into ONT. That's just what I'm saying. Pundy and Dent, they're going to disappear. Dent's not going to disappear. They already have connections with all the phone networks and all that stuff. it's just a really bearish time for alts. It's a really bearish time, and it seems like a lot of this market, it doesn't really have the money going in that people think is going in. And you know, we went from 390 billion to 269 billion in a really short amount of time. So it seems like very big institutions are the reason why that can happen. And the institutions pull out, they put some back in, and then people, retail, see it drop again and they pull out, and it pulls it down back to here. Am I worried? No, because it's kind of like a support area right there. And so we have to kind of wait and see where we go from here over the weekend. And will this Bitmex news hurt it? I don't know. And the whole theme of today is, you know, what is going to happen? What will we see happen in the shorter time? You know, our Bitcoin might drop this weekend due to FUD. Very possible. I think it's possible. Will it? No one knows. No one, even the best TA person. Let me give you guys some real quick advice before I go. The best technical analysis person that I know guys like Flood and Sibber, all the guys on the Bitmex leaderboard, pretty much all of them. What I've learned from them, they're like, dude, we make mistakes 60, 50, 30% of the time, half the time. And I was like, how do you guys make money? They're like, we have tight stop loss, we have set ourselves up not to make, we use good risk reward. So there are all these groups that are telling you they're going to 90%, 80%. Some of them might get small bits and pieces, but there's going to be ones that they're going to make mistakes and stuff. And even I've been guilty of that in the past. We make mistakes. It's possible that, you know, the market doesn't do what you want. The market has, you know, huge candles like this one yesterday where, you know, it's pretty indicative of, you know, some type of potential manipulation. And it kind of is scary. Now, if we go on the 6-hour chart here, I want to show you something. You guys ever heard of a BART? A BART is when it looks like Bart Simpson, okay? Look at this. It's a perfect BART right here. We came up, Bart Simpson, Bart Simpson, Bart Simpson. We'll come back down, make some eyes right here, and we have the Bart Simpson, okay? So that's what they're talking about. You ever heard of a BART? We're seeing that it very well could over the weekend do that. Oh, I just deleted my Ichimoku. That's okay. I'll just bring it back. There we go. So that is where I'm at right now. Price action is a little bit slow. I think we could potentially have a BART down. Keep your eyes on that. Market's very, the price action, look at the volume. It's not doing really hot. Let's be really honest. So the volume's not really there. We have this beautiful Bart Simpson. You can even see it on the Chiku span. So I think we might BART down to the bottom of the cloud here. But long term, what I've been saying for quite some time, when I go on that weekly chart, I'm looking for it to come right down to this Kijinsen, or at very least, this level of support at 88. So that's what you should be looking for if you're in this market right now. Look for what we're trying to see here. Okay, and if we do go up, just as a last little thing right here before I go, if we do go up, let's see where we could go. So if we move up, we would be looking at obviously breaking through that 10,928 to 11.6, and then we could continue on up. I wouldn't say that 14's likely at all because we're looking at the weekly. But 11.6 would be somewhere I'd be looking at. If we go to a shorter time frame like the daily, we can actually have a better indication of where we might go. So let's look here. So on the daily, we would break that 11.2, 12.225, 245. I think this is the range right now. I don't think we're going to break that over the weekend. I actually really do believe that we're going to come and test that Kijinsen. I've been saying it for a while, and I know that the other day it made you guys think there's no way. But yeah, where did the Filipino guy go? Who's the Filipino guy? There's a Filipino guy? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I hope all you guys really enjoyed the show. I'll be on again on Monday. Don't forget, if you're not watching on YouTube, guys, to jump in. I'll throw the link at the bottom of this video in the chat there. Click on it, go and subscribe, make some comments on the video every single week. Next week again, I will be doing a draw for all the comments on the videos that I make, and those comments will be put into a generator, a name generator, and I'll be giving away 1 month free access to our trading system software so you guys can use it and play around. And it's $145 a month normally, $147 a month normally, so it's gonna give you a free month to try it out. And they'll also as of next week, be my cryptocurrency education course out, and we're also got some consults for people that want to do one-on-one trading training and a bunch of other stuff. So if you guys want anything, just let me know. I also have a cool competition coming up. So if you are a trader, or even if you're not, there's a really cool competition coming up with Snapback Exchange. I will be sending links out for that soon, referrals, and you guys can join the competition. $600,000 in prizes, as well as my friends exchange at the FTX in Hong Kong. They do about 5% of all the Bitcoin trading in the world every single day, so it's pretty intense, and they're starting their own exchange as well. And so I'll be talking about a couple exchanges coming up soon that are different than Bitmex, maybe don't have scam wicks and stuff, which might be nice, and giving you guys some new opportunities and things like that, because that's what I enjoy doing. So have yourselves a great day. Alfred, do connect with me at Coach K Crypto. If you guys ever want anything from me, Coach K Crypto. Okay, so I'll throw it in the in the bottom of that box there. Find me on Twitter or on Telegram. Telegram's really hard for me because I got a million messages all the time. So try to go on Twitter. I usually get to those faster, or hit me up at my normal. Just look up Joel Kovshoff, my name, and you'll find me, and you can send me a message. So all those ways you can get in touch with me. I'll see you guys next week on Monday. Have yourselves a great weekend. Let's see if we either BART this weekend or we go up more. Let's see. Right now, what I'll have to end this with is Bitcoin might drop due to the FUD. Okay, everyone, have yourselves a great weekend. Coach K signing out.